This girl doesn't know boys existed and she's 17 years old. Today we're gonna react to this story and try to decide if it's real or if it's some fake story they made up for views.
Ugh, boys are so complicated. I know a lot of people have strange relationships with the opposite gender, but I can guarantee you that my tale really takes the cake. Do you
Okay, this is good because it sounds like it actually ties into the title, which is rare for these videos.
think you have problems talking with boys? Imagine how confused I got the first time I ever saw one.
Well, I mean, if you were 17,
Pretty confused, I bet.
I was head over heels
In
and
love?
a complete idiot. I didn't grow up with the concept of a crush or romance. Instead,
So it looks like she went to an all-girls school where everyone looks the same. They're all the same twins. They have the same hair, the same clothes.
Okay.
I was raised in a very alternative way.
Is that Amish?
When I was just a baby, I somehow ended up in the middle of nowhere in a big house filled with only women and girls.
I'm pretty sure you were raised Amish. This is an Amish school, trust me.
We did everything together.
Yeah, you're Amish.
We referred to ourselves as a commune.
Oh, God. What? What is this?
It was more like a cult.
Okay,
We
all right.
all wore the same clothes and had our hair done in the same way. We all looked eerily alike. To
They still could be Amish. I don't know, man.
outsiders, it was like we were all sisters.
That's
In
creepy.
actuality, the headmistress decided what we would look like and gave
Oh,
us
no.
little makeovers to be her walking clones.
No, this actually is starting off with kind of a dark side here. I don't know about her histories, but it makes sense to not have known males existed if you were controlled like this.
It went well beyond matching dresses and hair colors. This one time when I was around 8, this girl around my age went off into the woods without telling anyone.
Oh,
That
God.
kind of thing was explicitly against the rules.
Yeah, I mean, probably because you all live in Hogwarts. You can't go in the dark forest, you know what I'm saying?
You can't do that.
She ended up playing around the forest and got her head stuck in a broken maple tree. By the time some of the older members were able to find her, her
She was
hair was
dead.
completely covered on the stuff from the tree.
Sap.
After maybe an hour of trying to wash it out, the headmistress
Hold on.
came out with a knife and cut it all sloppily off. It looked so bad, but that wasn't the worst part.
I don't understand. Now she gets to have a different haircut, right? Or does she have to wear a wig?
Next, she ordered us to line up, and one by one, and she started giving everyone the same sloppy haircut.
Oh,
I
no.
loved my hair. I cried as loud as I could. It wasn't my fault. Why was I being punished? One day, I decided to go on my own little adventure. I was only about 8. I didn't see any harm in it. I wasn't supposed to walk away from the farm, but I didn't feel like spending another grueling 8 hours tending the crop.
Dude, this actually sounds like a true story. Like, generally, I'm like, oh, this seems pretty fake, but there's so many things in this that are like so weird and disturbing that I don't know if someone could come up with it.
I thought I could sneak away for a little bit, so I waited for the headmistress to leave. Next, I told the other girls I had to go to the bathroom,
Smart.
but I actually quickly ducked behind a corner when they weren't looking. The next thing I did was quickly run away from the house. I had never
She looks like a monster on Attack on Titan right now, the way she's running. That's freaky.
this point. I expected to see more of the forest or something, but instead, I just saw a fence. It wasn't a pleasant picket fence, though. It had barbed wire twisted
Dude, you're literally in a jail cell.
What the heck?
toward the headmistress. She sounded like she was
Oh,
on the
God.
other side of the fence, but I couldn't see.
She had freedom.
I tried to lean up for a better look on the other
Nope.
side, but ended up cutting my hand up pretty bad. I immediately shouted out in pain, and before I could see where she came from, the headmistress was right there.
Dude, this is scary. What the heck is going on right now with this story?
She was very angry. She didn't bother to help me bandage it up and instead dragged me back to the rest of the girls
Bro, razor wire? Like, you need stitches when you touch that stuff.
while I was crying.
Wow.
Next, she pulled me up by my arm and started lecturing all of us. If you thought the
You're giving him more haircuts?
that was weird,
Oh, no.
you should brace yourself for what came next.
What?
After I got my hand bandaged up, we all had to wear wraps on our hands. It was so weird.
That is weird, dude.
One day, when I was making my rounds, I experienced the most traumatic thing in my life. I heard the sound of branches breaking on the other side of the fence.
You heard someone outside.
I immediately called the headmistress. She told me to go back to my room and she would take care of it. My curiosity got the better of me.
Oh, this is either the moment where she finds something and escapes or gets something and gets in trouble and it gets worse for her.
I decided to blow out my candle, shut off my walkie-talkie, and duck behind a bush to watch.
Ooh.
Sure enough, a few minutes later, the headmistress showed up. She was holding some contraptions I had never seen before.
A cell phone?
I have since learned the names of these two objects. The first was a flashlight. I could see everything. I could now see that the sound of the branches breaking was Missy, one of the teen members of the community. At
So it's another girl. She's gonna get in trouble.
first, I felt some relief that there weren't any dangerous intruders or evil monsters. It didn't take long for those pleasant feelings to leave me. Right after Missy started apologizing for leaving, the headmistress pulled out the second contraption.
Put out a freaking pistol.
What I know now was a gun. Missy immediately started running
No, this story is not going this way. Is this even allowed on YouTube?
again, and the headmistress chased her until I couldn't see them anymore. Next, I heard a big bang. I didn't know what a gun did, so I just assumed a giant tree fell on
Did
them.
she just get
I
murdered?
rushed to go and help them both, but I didn't see any broken trees in sight. I ran right into the headmistress. I asked her what had happened and where Missy was.
No.
She asked what I saw, and I told her the truth, or at least part of it. I just said that I heard Missy cry out, and then I heard a large crash. I was crying so hard, but
Bro, there ain't no way. There ain't no way the mistress just murdered a girl because she was outside. What the crap?
the headmistress told me a monster had kidnapped her, and it was too late. She tried to fight the monsters off, but in the end, it was just too late. Part of my job was keeping the illusion that we were safer than we were. Something just didn't add up for me. I was curious to know what deviant force had convinced Missy to cross over the fence.
So Missy did cross the fence and then the mistress killed her?
Little did I know I was about to find out for myself. I was just going about my regular rounds when I heard a loud rumbling
This is crazy.
sound. There, approaching the fence, was one of the monsters the headmistress had talked about.
Dragon.
It was large with two large glowing eyes on the front, and it looked like there was a person trapped inside.
It's a vehicle.
I couldn't see what
A
they
car.
looked like, but they were waving. How was that possible if all the people in the world were within these walls? I called the headmistress using the walkie-talkie and told
Is this where you die?
her what I had seen.
Oh my gosh.
A monster holding some poor girl hostage. The headmistress told me to immediately go home, but I wasn't about to let someone else fall victim to a monster.
Wow, this girl's bravery.
I shouted at the person to hold on.
Because like I know it's probably a car, but
I was going to rescue them. That's when the person came out from the monster.
it is a
They
car.
were not like any.
is it FBI agent?
They were super tall with broad shoulders and hair all over their face. They spoke with a super deep voice that made my stomach drop. Hey, 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 they said. What's all the commotion about?
So this is the first dude she saw, just a random guy driving by the caught on accident.
Are you okay? My mouth went dry, and I couldn't get any words to come out at all. What was coming over me? It felt like I had butterflies in my stomach, and I couldn't think of what to say.
Okay, so she fell in love already?
Oh, wow, you're actually kind of cute.
Oh man, don't ruin it with this weird cliche story. We were in the zone here, fam.
Next, the headmistress showed up. She
Here we go.
ordered me to get away from that boy at once. Boy? I hadn't even heard that term. The boy suddenly got very defensive. He yelled at the headmistress, asking if she was crazy. He asked what she was doing, having some teenager locked in around barbed wire.
Yeah, I mean, this guy has some valid points. He also has a skull buckle on his belt.
He looked back at me and told me to come with him, and he'd get me out of here if I wanted. I had no control over my body, and some kind of primal instincts were kicking in. If you cross that line, Missy, you'll never be allowed back here ever again. Mark my words. My body had already made up my
So I am curious, is she wanting to escape now?
mind, though. I don't think anything in the world could have stopped this urge to follow this boy.
So she is desperately in love now.
Mistress stormed off. I was nervous to get in. I bowed down and thanked the monster for safe passage.
I don't know why, but I just feel like they smell really bad. Like if they don't have technology, how are they showering?
You've never seen a car before? The boy laughed. He explained that it
Not
wasn't
just
a-
any car. Looks like my boy's driving an Aventador.
As we were driving along the city, I saw so many things.
Lights.
I asked to stop at everything. I had never seen street lamps, or puppies, or even a lake. Everything was so scary and new. Carlos, as the boy was
Dude, this is literally going to be us when we start exploring space. When we get to Mars, Elon Musk is going to take us there.
called, patiently drove me around explaining everything. I was surprised when we finally found something I could explain to him. Nailed right on one of those trees was a picture of my sister with the words missing.
Wait, I don't even remember. Did we meet your sister?
He asked me what was going on, and I explained that this was the picture of one of the sisters
Oh, sisters, not your actual sister. Okay.
that just joined the commune last month. He said that we needed to report this to the police. The child had been abducted from her home around that time. They could find where I had been from, but unfortunately, the records didn't go that far back. I led the police back to the commune, where they arrested the headmistress.
Oh, wait, this could be good.
Along with some of the senior members, and took custody of all of the minors there, all 50 of them.
50.
The minors were to be returned to their homes or put up for adoption. As I
Oh
would be
my.
counted as a legal adult starting the next month, Carlos said I could just live with him. He was going to teach me what love was.
Okay, that is illegal.
Carlos helped me get started in the real world. He introduced me to lots of amazing things: ice cream, grocery stores, and all new sorts of clothes that didn't have to match anyone's. Carlos told me it was cute, but I knew I was hard sometimes. The moment I
What
walked
is
into
that?
his apartment, it was like I had stepped into some
Welcome to the future.
futuristic alternate reality. I screamed the second I saw a baby trapped inside a box. I punched the box and broke it to let the baby
You broke a
free.
TV to free a
Turns
baby?
out it was an entertainment device
That's a flashlight.
called a TV, an expensive device that I smashed within minutes of knowing him. Part of letting go was making new connections and letting go of the old ones.
I mean, that's a great advice.
In the end,
Still creepy, but it's
we
great
ended
advice.
up moving far away from that city and far away from any of my sisters.
Wow.
I got used to technology and even got a job at a local daycare.
Wow,
I was normal.
that's great.
I was almost forgetting everything about my sisters
You're
until
pregnant?
the day I found out I was pregnant. I was so overjoyed. It was fun sharing it with Carlos.
Look how happy she is. This is like the most wholesome ending ever, I feel like. What the heck? I feel so happy now.
I made a Facebook account where I tried to get into contact with them. I talked to a few of my sisters about what they were doing. Most of them were still in school for them. The transition
Makes
wasn't
sense.
too much as they were still young. I reached out to my closest friend from the commune. We were the same age, both freed when we were about 18.
Okay.
Turns out she was not happy with her new
She
life.
wants to go back to the cult?
She hated technology and was
Oh,
too
no.
scared of boys. She told me she struggled very hard just to survive, and she was incredibly lonely.
That's kind of the response that I would expect, I feel like, from coming out from a cult.
Wanted to share the news of my pregnancy with her, but that seemed to send her over the edge.
Oh, God.
A few days later in the mail, I got a letter from her saying she never wanted to see me again.
Okay, this is maybe not the best ending. That's okay.
I showed the note to Carlos, and he said that it was my fault for purposely getting involved with those people.
That's not
He
good.
accused me of purposely looking for drama because I like to play victim. It was then that I saw Carlos was not the knight in shining armor I thought he'd be.
Okay, this is getting a little darker now.
When I thought things couldn't get any worse, I lost the baby.
Okay. Huh?
The doctors told me that I wouldn't ever be able to get pregnant.
Oh, it's just getting worse. Every sentence they say. If I pause it, they can't make it worse.
This devastated me. Carlos was very unsympathetic. He was so nice and affectionate when we first got together, but he seemed to get bored of me very quickly. One time I was out shopping and I saw him kissing another girl.
Oh my gosh, what's happening to your life?
I ran right up to him and confronted him, but he told me that it wasn't his fault he wasn't satisfied in our relationship. Sorry, I just expected more from us, you know.
Oh my gosh.
This girl's life literally went from me feeling good to I am about to be heartbroken.
He put in divorce papers and
You
ended
guys got married and now you're getting divorced? No.
up marrying the other girl. Even
What?
worse, they had a baby together. I was
I can't stop pausing it. I'm just like, I don't want to hear anymore. It's just been bad news for freaking 3 minutes now. Stop.
so sad and miserable, but I had no support at all. I was so used to having my sisters around me all the time. I didn't know how to handle being alone. I tried finding another boyfriend, but it's just so hard. I don't know the first thing about talking to boys. Plus, it seems no one wants a woman who can't bear a child. I miss my old home, and
Oh my god, this is horrifying.
I would give anything to be back in my commune. I know a lot of people may not have wanted to live in a cult, but it was so much better than my life now. What's worse, not being able to have a child robbed me of the biggest honor I thought I could have. I am alone with no one to love me. I can't help but
Oh
wonder
my-
what if the headmaster was right, and the only thing that was waiting outside the fence was hell.
Oh man. Oh god, that was so depressing. And if you need to be cheered up, click here to go watch this video to feel better.